Trying to get down. It's Mom, I don't like it up here. What are you doing to me?
Say, hi, everyone. It's breakfast time. Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, is my light on?
Huh? This light?
No, never mind.
The blue light?
Yes.
Yes, your blue light is on. Your microphone is on.
Say good morning, everybody.
If they can't hear you, they can yell at us.
Say good morning. No? You don't want to say good morning today? Say, what's for breakfast? What's for breakfast at Tiffany's? Huh? What's for breakfast at Tiffany's? Huh? Huh? Yeah. I know you don't like being up here. You're just going to try to run away. Hello, everybody. Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. We are going to have breakfast today. And I don't know what it is yet.
Yes, they can hear you. They have answered.
It could be fabric and bacon.
Fabric and bacon. Breakfast champions there.
Chorizo and fabric.
It'd be chorizo and thread.
Chorizo and thread.
Bacon,
Yeah.
chorizo and thread.
Yeah, fabric and bacon, chorizo and thread.
Let's say hi to everybody quick. It's starting to break. We got 80 people on here already.
Ham and bobbins.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
was trying to think of fun things. So welcome to episode 2 of Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's morning. It's 7 a.m. It's early. But I've been up since 4, so it's okay. All right, we got Ann here, Shirley here. You guys were in early. Karen, Andrea, Judy, our Whitaker, Jojo, Geraldine, Mary, Betty, JK, Polly, Rochelle, scrolling, Danelle, Terry, Karina, Donna, Tanya, Amy, Samantha, Lynn, and so many more. If I didn't catch your name, hello everybody, welcome, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world, and or whatever time it is, or if you're just watching this as a replay later. All right, what is for breakfast? Let's find out. Ooh, purple stuff.
Purple stuff.
Purple stuff. We got some purple flowers on a green. We got purple. We got, wait, more purple. And more purple. Because today we are going to make the easiest table runner ever. This is like, you don't even have to know how to quilt to make this table runner. Literally, it is going to be that easy. So in the description below, it should say, I'm not sure if it's there, but it should be there. It should say what you need for today's project. So you need, first off, a half yard for your backing. Here's my half yard for my backing. Then it says you need 1/4 of a yard, which is only 9 inches, of fabric for your main fabric. Then for your first border or inner border and the binding, you need 1/3 yard. So that's like 12 inches or something like that. And then for your second border, you need you have to have at least 5 inches of fabric or 6 inches, but you're going to be cutting 2.5 inch strips. So it's, like I said, this is the most easiest project ever. Anyway, so Mr. Scotty, can we turn the iron on? Because I did not pre-press any fabric today. Usually I pre-press everything so that it's ready for these videos, but I did not. I am behind, and I was actually long arm quilting at like 4:30 this morning. You do what you got to do when you got to do it.
Iron all of them?
Yes. Okay. He's gonna iron real quick. I guess I could just take the comments while you iron all that.
Still not hot.
Oh.
Isn't any? Did you saying good morning.
Oh, everybody's just saying good morning. We'll put you guys right here.
I have to wait till the iron warms up, though, honey. I just plugged it in.
Got to wait for the iron to warm up because I did not prep for today.
Give me a second.
But again, half a yard for your back, a fourth a yard for your main fabric. Your first border and binding is a third of a yard and at least 5.5, 6 inches. So you can cut 2.5-inch strips for because that would be like 1/8. No, that would be more than 1/8 of a yard. I don't know what 5 inches would be. So, but yeah, so we could have 2.5-inch strips. This is going to be super, on a piece of batting. You need at least a 16-inch by 45-inch piece of batting. So that way it's oversized. You know what I mean? But I'm just using scraps. Hi, Maya. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Marianne. Welcome, guys. Gals. I say guys, but, you know, I mean guys and gals. All right, so I'm going to adjust this so that it's nice and equal. Right there. Fold it on top of itself. Okay, there's one nice piece. I have an issue with my machine eating my fabric when I first start to sew a unit together. How do I fix it? Samantha, are you using a machine that has not a single hole? It has a elongated oval hole, because if it's one of those, then you're going to have to find new ways to like piece in corners, because it always sucks it in. Or chain piece and have a tail connecting the next one and hold that tail up to keep the machine, you know, so like if you put one piece in and you're ready to load the next piece, hold that other piece a little bit tight so that way the next one, when it goes under, the needle goes through it instead of sucking it down in. But other than that, the only other option is to have a single needle machine because it doesn't suck in the corners. Yes, leaders and enders. It's the same thing. Chain piecing helps with those kind of machines.
Why don't you tell them what you got this morning?
So this morning, Scott ordered me batting. They finally had 100% cotton in stock. Oh, like we've been waiting since what? Not last month, but the month before.
Black Friday, which is
Since
November, whatever.
Since the end of November, since Black Friday when they had the sales, we've been waiting for 100% cotton to be in stock. So that we got some of that. Oh, and then my light. So I have a light strip in the throat space of my long arm, and I didn't realize it because I haven't been turning it on for the last couple quilts. But when I really do detailed work, I like to have that throat light on, the LED light. And I didn't realize it till yesterday when I went to turn it on. I noticed only one little light came on, and that was the tip light, that the whole thing was ripped. So it looks like when the guy took my machine apart, he didn't realize, you know, because it runs a line. He probably forgot to disconnect the line because it's one sticky piece and long thing. And it ripped it a little bit, and that little rip stopped the whole light thing from working. So we had to order. Scott ordered me a new one for the throat space of the long arm, which is good because it was able to be found online. And
you got it all.
Yep, I got everything I need now for my long arm. All right, so I'm gonna put that out of the way because that's my backing fabric, and we're gonna start making some cuts. Let me just straighten these up really nicely because I did not have I never have exactly the right amount that I need. I try to make everything work with what I got. All right, so I'm gonna make sure everything is nice so that way when I cut it, it doesn't have any elbows in it. And that just means there's an elbow in the crease of the fabric. All right, we're gonna start with our main fabric, which is your 1/4 yard of fabric. And we're going to cut an 8.5 inch strip. 8.5 inch strip. I'm just going to straighten one side out and then take it over to a line somewhere here on the cutting mat and cut an 8.5-inch strip. So I'm just going to line this up nicely. Let's move all this other junk out of the way. Can't say junk, it's fabric. We're going to cut an 8.5-inch strip from our main fabric. 8.5. Right here. And is there enough on that leftover to have a string? No. Oh, yeah, sort of. 3/4-inch string. I know, I'm so bad at that, saving little tiny dinky itty bitty pieces. All right, then from our first border and binding fabric, we are going to cut two 1.5-inch strips. So from our first border and binding fabric, we're going to cut two 1.5-inch strips. Telling you this is the easiest ever. And then we're going to cut three 2.5-inch strips. That will be for our binding. That way it's already pre-cut. Not right this second, in a few minutes. And third. And you should have a little bit left over. I gave you a little bit extra. If you want to do 2.25-inch binding, that's fine. But I do 2.5-inch binding. I only do 2.25 on really tiny projects that are not very thick. All right, so I have an extra 1.5-inch strip for my bin. I'm going to set aside my binding strips, the three 2.5-inch strips. So I have my main fabric and then a border for each side. And now my second border, which is your little 6-inch or 5-inch strip. And we're going to cut 2.5-inch strips off of here. So I'm going to get two of them. Straighten that one side up. Get a 2.5-inch strip and a 2.5-inch strip. I don't have much wiggle room here because I literally had 5 inches. Well, like 5 and some scragglies. All right. We're going to set the cutting utensil aside. And we're going to grab this project right here. And we're going to put one of those on each side. So we have our main fabric in the middle, your first border next to that, one on each side, and your second border, one on each side. Literally, it's going to be that easy. We're going to take.
Sew this by hand?
You can sew this by hand if you want. It's really long seams. All right, we're going to take that middle piece, a big one, and we're going to hook a 1.5-inch strip to both sides. So it should run selvage to selvage. They're the same length. Well, at least they should be. All fabric should be about 43, 44 inches. And you can pin it if you want to pin it on, but, you know, you really don't need to. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the other side and add another strip on the other side. My 1.5-inch strips going on, one on each side. Excuse me. I feel it. I've developed a cough. I got two over here. All right, once you have one on each side, take it over and press it. Or send it to your Iron Man to press it for you.
You said you have to get rid of your cough away from the visitor.
Yeah, that cough is never going to go away. I have a permanent cough from my valley fever, but it's not like, this is like a dry cough from the weather. Hot, cold, hot, cold. House heater makes me cough. Car heater makes me cough. Everything makes me cough. The smells, like if you're wearing perfumes or certain deodorants or aftershaves on men, all that stuff makes me cough. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm very sensitive to smells and dry heater air. Like the heat during the summertime, perfect. Like there's no, it doesn't make me cough. But in the wintertime, it's
But we have
dry,
the AC on
cold,
all
and
summer.
we have to use the heater. And yeah. Yeah, in the summer, the heaters or the air conditioner's on. It's not very dry. But yeah, I have issues with all that. Ever since I had valley fever, all that stuff is just driving me nuts.
You were getting sick.
Oh, I'm not sick. No, just the stupid cough.
You said you developed. You're watching on a phone and TV. Do you really get two credits?
If you're watching on a phone and TV, I don't know. I don't know if it's considered two watching. I don't know. I've never actually looked. I watch others like Becca and stuff on the TV and on the phone at the same time so that the phone can be for comments, but the TV you can actually see everything. But I don't know if it counts for more than one watch. We'd have to turn a TV on and then the phone on or a tablet or something and then look and see if the number changes. But then someone else could be on at the same time. All right, once you have your centerpiece and your first border on either side, again, easiest ever, we're going to grab that second border and add one to each side.
Does the humidifier help?
I don't think so. Humidity drives me crazy, so I don't know if a humidifier would be a good thing. I'm not 100% on that. And yes, I can continuously sew. I know some people are like, how do you do that? Well, you just line it up and sew it. I don't know, it just works for me.
I'm going to be lost when you go to Becca's.
Who said what?
I'm going to be lost when you go to Becca's.
Oh, yeah. They're saying that Scotty will be lost when I go to Becca's. Yeah, he will have video games and our neighbor Leroy to keep him company. Maybe he should go golf with Leroy.
No.
He's like, no. We tried hitting golf balls once. Not very good. Neither of us. We're like, how in the hell do you do this? All right, so I'm sewing the second border on the opposite side now. All right, and then we're going to have Mr. Scott press this as well. And we're literally almost done. Like, that's how fast this table runner goes. All right. Here you go, Mr. Scooty. Press those.
Are you going to quilt this table runner?
Yes, we are going to quilt it right here in front of your face. And well, in front of your vision, in front of your screen. I need a ruler with a 60-degree line on it. So this one has a 60 on it. This ruler right here, this thing. So you need a ruler that has a 60 on it for this next part. Most should have them. This one only has 45 degree, but we need one with 60.
Like I said, Thumper would beat up the dog.
Yeah, you probably would. Thumper is bigger than your dogs, Becca. I'm telling you. He's 17 pounds and on camera, he doesn't look that big sometimes, like depending on the position he's in. But when you're picking him up, it's like it's like you're trying to pick up the front of a Rottweiler or something, because it's like heavy at first when you're trying to get them to go in a tub or something kind of thing. He's heavy.
Becca said I could come too. And I said I'd have to keep Thumper company unless she wants him to come. And she says, no, he can't come because he'd beat up the dogs.
Yeah. He'd beat up the dogs and drive her allergies crazy because she's allergic to cats. All right. Here's the part that some of you might not be used to. So we're going to this is pretty much done. If you want to leave it this way, that's it. That's all it is. But we're really not done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half onto itself. And I'm going to cut the selvage off all at the same exact time that I'm doing this. So making sure that it's lined up. We're going to start on this side right here that I'm currently on, but I'm going to make sure it's lined up all the way down. There we go. And I'm going to take this 60-degree line and we are going to put it this way on the bottom. So your folded side, which is your main fabric, this fold right here, that's your main fabric. You want your 60-degree line on your ruler on that bottom at that fold. And what we're going to do is we're going to lop that off, this little side right here. Just like that. So, just cutting off that on one side. So you should have a unit that kind of looks like this while it's folded in half. And then you're going to come over to the other side. And you're going to have it the opposite direction only because you are now upside down. And you're going to make sure that your 60 goes this way across the bottom. And then I'm going to line it up to where it comes out. Oh, nope, this way on the bottom. Comes out right here at the top. Yep, measure. Lay it on here, make sure it's nice. The 60 is always on the fold and you're cutting to the point of the fold. Like this. That's it, that's all we're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's good. I'm gonna cut that. So I should have a unit again that looks like this. And there it is. Here is your finished table runner top. How simple was that? So you have your little 60-degree corner right here. And right there. That's the easiest thing. You do not have to be a quilter to make this. So at this point, it should be 14.5 inches. Yep, 14.5 inches by 40 inches, or thereabouts. Now we're going to take and find ourselves a piece of batting. In a second, I'm going to iron because I need to adhere my batting and my top. So I'm going to lay this on my big chunky piece of batting and I'm going to kind of rough cut around it because I don't want too much hanging over. So I'm just going to take my ruler. I'm going to cut around this. I just want a little bit of wiggle room, but I definitely don't need all of this excess batting on the sides. So I'm just going to cut that all away. Come up here to the top and get this off as well. So I don't need this or these or that. I'm just throwing it on the floor. I don't need that. And I don't need all that. This makes it easier to quilt it when it's kind of cut to size because it is a small project. What we're going to do is we're going to take our backing fabric. I'm going to lay this on here. We're binding this because we're going to be quilting it. So just remember, that's why we cut binding. And we're going to lay this on here from one side to the other. And if it hangs over, that's because it is not 40 inches of backing fabric. Look at that. It's literally right there at the edge. This fabric is a little bit shy. I'm going to put it right to the point right there, right to the point right here, and I am going to spray baste this so that it stays while we do some free motion quilting. And if it's too much, like see how this is right here, literally at the selvage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fold this unit back in half real quick, and I'm going to take off another inch because it's definitely really, really cutting it close. I'm just going to take off an inch. My fabric is not 40 inches, you know. I'm going to lay this right here. I have it lined up on a line. There we go. So I just took off an inch because that's really, really cutting it close. Lay this back on here.
You ironing that?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, plenty of room now. Now I could just pick this whole thing and slide it down just a little bit. My batting sticks to everything really well. Come on. Come on. All right, I'm going to take this now over to the iron, and I'm going to spray baste it and then iron it. I just got to get some. I'm using Taylor Quilt basting spray. All you do is spray it on. You don't have to iron it, but I like to iron all the wrinkles out. So I'll be off the camera for just a moment while I lay this on here. And spray baste half at a time. So I'm going to do one half and then do the other half. Where's my, I left it way over here. Go me. And you don't need a lot. I don't put a whole heck of a lot. I definitely don't like the smell of basting spray. It drives me nuts. So I got one side, and I'm going to get that top sprayed on there and smoothed out, and then I'm going to press it. And the cool thing about basting spray is if something's not right, you can lift it up and put it back down. Huh? Okay, let's go over to the ironing board. The camera's moving. So I'm on the other side. I already spray basted the one side. I just put like that much. It's not a lot. I'm going to smooth the batting out onto it first. I'm trying not to let anything get wrinkled. Once the batting is on there, then I...
Do you ever use school glue for basting?
The school glue makes a big mess on batting. So no, I don't use it. Just a little bit for this. Then I'm going to smooth this out. I use my hand to smooth it as I go like this. And then once everything's nice and smooth, I take the iron over it. Only on the top, the quilt top part. I don't touch the batting at all in case spray got on it. This is fully adhered. It gets any and all wrinkles out, and it keeps the project super duper flat. And then I'm going to turn it over because there's always wrinkles. Do you see how it wrinkled like that? And iron those out. And it makes this super flat because we're going to free motion quilt on this today. You can see I made a crease. Get that crease out of there. I'm really.
Do you protect your ironing board with anything before you spray?
No, because I'm going to be changing this cover out, so I kind of got sloppy with it. So no, I didn't protect my ironing board with anything. This cover is getting replaced, so I already pulled out the fabric and it's ready to be replaced. All right, now we're going to take this over and quilt it. So you can do this on a larger one. I do it on wall hang. Anything that's like 36 inches or less, I'll do this with the spray basting for projects like this and table runners and stuff. But anything bigger, I take it to the long arm. I usually don't ever free motion quilt, but I'm doing it today for all of you. All right, so we're going to take this over there. It's nice and ready to go. We're going to change out the foot on the machine and get to work. There we go. Camera's moving. We are going to free motion quilt. So you're going to be staring at the machine and me because we really don't need any other angle. Don't judge because I haven't free motion quilted in a long time. At least not on a domestic machine. We'll remove everything out of the throat space because it is not needed. I do need my snips right in front of me though. And we're going to grab out a free motion quilting foot, which is stuck on another foot. Up there for a minute. We're going to lift this up. Yes. Yes. I need a screwdriver. Where'd you go?
You need me to get you one?
Oh, I found it.
You should have a bunch in here, but I can get you one.
Oh, I found it. All right, with these free motion quilting feet, you also need to remember to lift your or lower your feed dogs. Mine is right here on the front, the little switch, but on the back side of most other machines, or like on the front, like bottom part, there's usually a thing that you can flip the switch. All right, so I'm going to tighten this on here because we definitely don't want the foot falling off while we're working. All right. Move all that out of the way. Drop my feed dogs. And I'm just going to quilt with a purple thread. Let's use a purple thread. Well, I don't know if I want to do dark purple. No, that'll show all of my boo-boos. Do I have a different purple? No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. How about this purpley pink one? Let's see what it looks like on here. I could also do green. Green would work too. Let's look at a light green. If I can find the end of it. That actually looks good. We're going to go with this one right here. Perfect. All right, I'm going to pop this off here. I'm going to snip this one, bring that thread down. We're going to roll a bobbin because I want to use the same color bobbin as I am using top thread. So we're going to roll one real quick.
And so can I just do stitch and a ditch?
You could stitch in a ditch if you're hand sewing, yes. So it gives it just a second to roll a bobbin.
Where'd you get your thread case?
Thread case. Oh, the big plastic tub. I bought it. It's a Hobby Lobby one. They're talking about this one. This is a Hobby Lobby case. They sell these at Hobby Lobby, and it has little inserts so you can put, I don't know if you want to put smaller ones. I have no idea. But you could probably find these on Amazon and things like that too. Come on. I have spray based on my fingers. It's making it hard to tie. Get in the hole. There we go. And then I'm going to make sure that my bobbin thread is up to the top, pulled up, and then my top thread is under the circle of my free motion foot. And I'm going to assume you guys want a closer angle. Is that right? Because Scotty left the room and I cannot see comments. So I guess I'll just bring you guys closer. Because I know that's what you'll want. All right, going for a ride. All right, we're going to go right here. I don't know if I'm going to be in the way or not, but we're going to assume that this is a good position. Okay. Free motion quilting time. So most of the time, I don't know, can you see the top of my machine? No, you cannot. Let's tip you up for just a second. My machine has this right here, this knob. This knob lifts my foot up. For free motion quilting, I like some space here. I like some space between the foot, the hopping foot, and my project so that when my foot is down, it moves. If you have it too tight, it won't move like this. And we want it to be able to move. If you can't move it while it's down like this, then it's probably too tight. So I lifted it up. Okay. We're going to come back and face down. All right. Oi, come on. There. I don't like it loosened. All right. So now I'm going to find where I want to start. Sometimes I start in the middle. Sometimes I start in a seam. But that's what I'll do today is start in a seam. So I'm going to drop my foot. I'm going to drop my needle in that seam right there. And I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up to the top. Then I'm going to go back to where it was. Put my foot back down. Drop my needle. 1, 2. Move it just a slight hair. Tying it off. And then you can literally lift your foot ever so slightly, reach your snips in all the way into that corner, and snip away and still have your thread attached. You have to be very careful because sometimes you can actually snip the thread that you're really trying to work with. We're going to try to do some flowers. I have not, don't judge, like literally have not free motion quilted in a very, very, very long time. And honestly, I probably should get some gloves. I don't even know where they are. If I can't find them, I'm not going to use them. Oh, here they are. 1 and 2. So I still have my Angela Walters free motion gloves. I would put 80/20 in a quilt like that for somebody in Missouri where it gets very cold, because you'll have the pretty much 80% cotton to keep you warm and that 20% polyester to hold that heat in, but allow it to breathe. All right.
How do you store your feet?
How do I store my feet from my machine? In this cute little 99-cent store case. It holds my feet, some needles. It has the walking foot, and then I still have 2 more little plastic things that I could have, separated more, but, I'm not. But that's where I keep my jukey stuff.
How do you keep your machine from moving while you sew?
My machine doesn't move while I sew. It's on a yoga mat and a shelf liner. So it really doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, my machine does not really run away. All right. I'm going to put my stitch length to 0.
When you move the camera back, you can just show them that thing. They can see it on this side even. Move the camera over here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can just show them.
And we are going to attempt to do a flower. Oh my goodness. Talk about haven't done this in a long time. What kind of flower do I want to do? Full loop. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to come in, do a full circle. Once I touch my full circle, I'm going to come out and do like a double. And like I said, I haven't done this in a while, so don't judge. It's like a heart. I'm going to come back into the circle. My stitches are like really, really tight. And if you have to adjust and move, adjust and move. And one more, it could fit in there. Ta-da, I made a flower. Now I need to find an exit point to make another flower. So I'm going to come out right here and do another flower right here. So I'm going to stitch in the same ditch and come out.
What's the difference between
The difference between what?
the 2 walking feet?
One, there. I didn't know there was 2 walking feet. Yeah, there's no, I don't know. Free motion quilting is all about that moving and adjusting, moving and adjusting. This is so much sloppier though than my my free motion quilting on the long arm. All right, now I'm going to find an exit point and do another flower. So I will exit right here actually. So I want to tell you guys a little secret about this free motion quilting thing. Gloves are a good idea, but you can do this without gloves if you don't have gloves. The idea behind free motion quilting is to make, nice designs. But when you're free motion quilting, you definitely want to make sure you don't have tense shoulders, tense neck, tense, oh my goodness, tight arms. And the big secret is you are not shoving your fabric. You're not pushing on it. You're literally gently massaging your fabric. So when you go to move to another spot, I'm not shoving my fabric. I'm not pushing hard. I'm literally just massaging it. If that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put another flower in here. That one's horrible because I went the wrong way of my brain.
Are you using the closed loop foot or is it open on one side?
Nope, it's closed. I don't have an open one for this machine. I do have a ruler foot for this machine, though. All right, find a place to exit and then do another flower.
Do you have the feed dogs down?
Yep, feed dogs are down. Let's do a flower right here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Trying to follow that line. I made that circle really big. My flowers are very funky because I'm going the wrong direction. But that's okay. You gotta be able to know how to quilt in all directions. Now I need to find an exit point and do another flower. So I'm gonna come out right here, I think, so I could put a flower right here. I'm just gonna do big flowers on this whole entire thing. Little projects are a lot easier to free motion quilt on. That's why I say practice with small, like fat quarters or table runners or just little quilts, because bigger quilts, all this turning, you got to remember how to quilt in all different directions, but so you don't have to turn so much. Me, on the other hand, I turn it often because my brain doesn't see it any other way. All right, now I'm going to exit, and I guess I can do like a half a flower right here. Let's do a half a flower right here. So I'm going to make half of a circle. And there's a half of a flower. Come down and make a flower right here, a whole one.
Where did you get the tall stick that you use with the larger spools of thread?
Where did I get the what?
The tall stick that you use with larger spools of thread.
My machine has this built on to it for large spools. My little machines for large spools, I have a separate little spool holder, and you can find those. Just type in spool holder or large spool holder on, and like, you know, any quilt shop should have them. All right, now I'm gonna come around here and exit so I could put a flower right here.
Is it hard to do the meander design like this?
I find everything like this harder because this hurts my shoulders and everything. But when it comes to like moving around a meander, it's probably the easiest thing you can do. Straight lines as well. Okay, that was a really sloppy flower, but they're all unique. Okay, here we go. Let's do that again. And yes, I'm stitching fast. Wow, it's been so long since I've done this. I'm going to put another half one right over here. So I'm going to exit out. Come over. Out right here. And put a half of one right here. And then I'm going to, I guess, do another half one because we're going to make a line though. That way there's some stitching right there. I probably could like meander within these flowers too, but it looks like I'm a beginner. So long. All right, let's come like right here. Going a little fast. No, I'm trying not to, but again, I haven't free motion quilted in a long time, so I'm kind of like a little out of practice. I think it works better when you just like move it around like this. And to think I did this every time I did a quilt a long time ago.
Yes, when you first started.
When I first started, and I got really good at doing this back then. I don't know why I don't have the, because maybe I don't have the gumption to do this. That's why it's so sloppy and hard seeming.
Out there.
Yeah.
You might as well use it.
Yeah. Like Scott said, I have an extremely expensive machine in the living room. I might as well use it. Okay. Okay, let's go right here. My first like circle was like perfect. The rest of them are all like super sloppy. Also, make sure your needle is down when you free motion quilt every time you stop and pivot. Because if your needle is not down, your thread will come away. You'll pull it away, and then you'll have a long little tail you'll have to hold down somehow. All right, let's exit it. And go this way. Oh, look at that. My tension looks good. I never checked my tension the whole time. You should lift it up and check your tension and make sure that you don't have eyelashes and stuff and going too fast and making like funkiness on the back. But mine seems to be good because I, didn't check to start. All right.
Did it take you a long time to learn free motion quilting?
Yes, it took me a long time to learn, yes. My first few quilts were quilted with decorative stitches on everything.
What do you think about using the Juki in a frame? Because you usually do that.
I do not recommend using the Juki in a frame. I hated that, and you will hate it too.
Yeah,
Because
tell 'em just to save up
so
for a long one.
yeah, save up for a long arm. Never do the Juki in a frame. And I say this, if it's the only thing you can do, then do it. But I say this because the bar is about this round. Okay, that bar is going to come up right here. So when you advance it, that bar will be right here permanently. So there's 2 inches gone. We only have 9 inches here. So we're going to stop right here. Now from here to here is all you have to quilt. But now you're advancing your quilt. So now this bar is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. So now you only have 3 inches to quilt. What can you really quilt in 3 inches of space? Seriously. I got so frustrated when I had the Juki on a frame. I for a whole year and a half begged Scott, can we please just get me a bigger machine? Please. And we had this big old, whatever, because it was in the garage and da 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 da. But he realized my potential and saw that I was doing good. So we ended up getting me a big long arm. So, in my opinion, you really don't need to have this on a frame at all. All right, we're going to do a little small one right here. Yeah. Yeah, you should save up for a long arm because on a frame, this is not good. Okay, let's go.
Watch out for your fingies.
Yes, I have to watch out for my fingers. I don't know how many times I have stitched through my fingers, guys. Like a ton. You could, if you wanted to sit down in free motion all the time, though, they do make sit down long arms that are 16 inches or so. Like you can get the Handy Quilter Capri in a table, or I don't know what other machines right now. That's the only one I could think about. But you can get a machine on a table, and the table should be big enough for you to hold your quilt up and everything. And it's got a huge throat space, and you quilt from the front. So if you like to sit down in free motion quilt, but you need more throat space, but you can't afford the whole entire frame and everything, you can get a sit down long arm. Becca used to have one, but she grew into the big girl long arm too, like me.
They're just pricey.
Yeah, they're very pricey. All right, we need to go something right here and then right here. I hate being on this edge. It's driving me nuts. I'm just going to do like a smaller one right here. That was very sharp. That should not have looked like that. Come out right here and put one right there. Okay. And I made very wide stitch length, and I shouldn't have done that either. But whatever. It's going to get covered by stitches.
Can you turn your machine to use it more open on the end?
I could turn it if I wanted to, but I like using my knee lift when I need to do stuff. So, and I don't free motion quilt, so there's no point really. This is a once a maybe year thing that you'll ever see from me. Because everything, I own a long arm, so there's no point for me to do anything anywhere other than on the long arm, except for videos, to show you that you can do this if this is what you want to do. All right. My very sloppy flowers. Some of these are looking horrible. Yeah, I definitely don't do this enough.
Sure, it looks good. I don't think you're being picky.
No, it looks pretty sloppy.
No. It looked good.
All right, we need something to hold this down.
It looks way better than anything I could do. Let's put it that way. Looks good to me. We didn't do this end yet either, huh?
Nope. No, I'm actually just stitching around this whole thing real quick. To that end. Yes, I'm pulling it, guys, to get around the edge like a basting stitch. It becomes very wide when you do that. I just gotta go to the other side now. come in and go right here. What?
When making a basket and boxing the corners, is there a way to calculate how much to cut off to get a certain size bottom?
Okay, just think of it this way. If you cut off a 1-inch bottom on 2 sides, you're going to have a 1.5-inch bottom if you're using a 1/4-inch seam. If you cut off 1.5 inches on 2 sides, you're going to have a 2.5 to 3-inch bottom, depending on your seam allowance. But sometimes they come out 3 inches. I've had some when I've cut 2 1.5s that come out 3 inches. Just think of it as a math, you know what I mean? So if you cut if you cut a 3-inch bottom, you're going to have a 6-inch wide opening. So think of it that way. Think of it as a math thing, then minus your seam allowance, obviously. All right, we're going to put one right here. Get one right here. Exit out this way. I'm going to come and do a halfer right here.
Like a halfer. Huh? How much size will you lose with the quilting?
You don't lose. On the long arm, I lose pretty good size, but on a free motion, I don't know, because it's spray basted and it's held down tight, you probably lose about 1/2 inch. Maybe. So just remember, this top was 14.5 inches wide, so we can check and see after I'm done how wide it turns out. I'm gonna exit out here and, well, no, let's just go this way.
I want the basket to have very stiff sides. What do you recommend I use between fabric?
Very stiff sides. Yeah, I would say use foam or some Decaville light. But Decaville light's better for like vinyl and stuff, but you can use foam on your project. half are here and something right there. Right here, like it's a lot of space. We'll just stitch it. Oh, did I run out of bobbin?
Right at the end.
Right at the end, I just need to do a little bit more. So let's roll another bobbin real quick. Snips. Give me 2 seconds to roll this bobbin. It's kind of hard to do with these gloves on, but we're going to make it work. Come on. Turn, you little monster. Okay, I'm gonna have to take off a glove because I need to rethread my machine because I cut my tail too short to try and pull through. Come on.
Bobbins are plastic or metal?
Does it make a difference if the bobbins are plastic or metal? It depends on the machine. Some machines are meant to have plastic bobbins and some machines are meant to have metal bobbins. So no, it probably does not make any difference at all. Yeah, you can't put a metal bobbin in a machine that's only for plastic bobbins. Yeah.
Yourself. So yes, it doesn't matter. Depends on the machine.
Well, I thought they meant like, does it matter? Like, like makes a difference, like stitching or something like that.
Depends on the machine.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Do gloves really help with fabric management?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Not
a little bit. They're not like, if these have little sticky dots on the bottom, so not sticky, they're not sticky, but they grip to the fabric. It's like a gardener's glove. So if you want to get some gardener's gloves, that would work. All right, I'm gonna do this real quick. Pull that bobbin thread up, and I'm gonna stitch around this side real quick to knock it down. Just a big basting stitch. I'm literally yanking the fabric. If I can get the threads off of my fingers. It needs to, nah, it doesn't need it. I'll just do that halfer right here. I think that'll look good. Do it right here. And stitch across this one real quick. Cut thread and call it a quilt. Let's see, did I get the whole thing? I did. All right, it's ready for me to cut it and bind it. So before I do anything, I'm gonna put my other foot back on the machine. So I don't need the free motion foot anymore. You can see this area is now super duper dusty. I'm gonna use my gloves to wipe that off. Put it back in its case. Come on. Right. There we go. Good job.
Fiddle with it.
Gotta find the foot now. There it is. I'm gonna blow away all that excess dust. Wait, it doesn't come up in my face. We're gonna pop those feed dogs back up. So I'm gonna lower and take a stitch and it knocks them back up. Yes, I took a blank stitch. All right, and I'm gonna actually bind the project with the same green on the purple, so I think that'll be fine. But let's go cut this and all that other stuff. Yep. Show them the what? Oh, so underneath my machine, see, there's two mats. One is a yoga mat and one is a shelf liner. Yeah, a yoga mat cover and a shelf liner.
Rubber on the bottom, fabric on top.
So it's rubber and fabric. See? So there's the two.
Yeah, the mat cover has rubber on the. Oh no, yeah, it does.
It has rubber on it.
It has a rubber on the bottom, and then it's fabric on top, and then the other thing is rubber.
Yep. Alrighty.
They don't want it to see that.
Let's trim this. Oh, we gotta turn the iron back on. We gotta make some binding.
Oh yeah, I'll iron everything.
I'm just gonna free. Yeah, I unplugged it when I unplugged the phone and moved it. All right. I'm going to prep this real quick, and then we're going to trim the quilt. I'm going to get the selvage gone real quick. And then those are ready to be sewn. And now we need a bigger ruler, and we're going to cut this. I'm going to start literally on this side right here. I have to hook them together, and I will iron them because I'm faster. All right, so that's garbage. That just goes over there. Cut this side off. Go down this long side. These over there. All right. I don't have any like line to line my ruler up on, so I'm just making sure that it's nice and straight here, and I have the same amount of number right here so that it's landing on all the way down, so I know that's nice and straight. Adjust it, line up the ruler up here, down there. And this can be for my strings. Cut this side. And then trim this side. Literally super duper easy. And you could have just straight line quilted this. You could free motion it. You could do whatever you want. This is the most easiest table runner you will ever make. Obviously for me, I made it harder by free motion quilting, not on a long arm. All right, so there's that. Let's piece these binding strips together. Same way you piece binding for any other project. Right sides together on the 45. Oh, and we got to put pressure back on our machine. Right there. Oh, and we need to have a stitch length, or nothing's going to happen. Literally. All right. Add one more. needs a little bit more pressure. All right, I'm going to cut off these corners, and then the little scrap pieces will go in my hourglass making pile. Just trimming it to have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Hourglass pile. And now I'm going to go to the iron and press this. This should go really quick. I'm just going to press it in half. And Scott could turn the camera so that you guys can see if you want to see. So I'm first just folding that seam in. I find the other one and fold that seam in. So once the seams are folded in, then I come right over here. I'm blocking the camera because he doesn't know where to put it.
Yes.
Fold it in half on top of itself. Folding it in half on top of itself. I use my fingers to do this. I just line it up, run the iron on it. Line it up, run the iron on it. And I go pretty quickly. I do have a binding thing where I can just lay the iron on it, but I don't want to take all that out for just this project. So just don't burn your fingers. Come over here. This project could have used a 2 1/4 binding if you would have wanted to, but again, I don't like really. I like it to be wide because then it looks like a final border. Literally have just a tiny bit left to fold. I just use my fingers. My thumb is in the middle. My first finger is on the top, adjusting and holding it. And just like that, we have binding. You can turn the iron off now. Okay. Okay. I love my binding attached to the back and flipped to the front.
What's the total width and length of it?
Oh, yeah, after quilting it. It was 14 1/2 inches. Now it is 14 exact inches. So it's 14 inches wide. So we lost a 1/2 inch with quilting. And then I can't tell you the length because honestly, we got 35 to the point. 36, 37, 38, 39, 39 1/2 because I took off my end. I took off that extra inch. So it's 39 1/2. It's supposed to be 40 by 14 and it was 14 1/2. So, I mean, that's not bad. I barely lost any on the size. Okay. I don't need these. These could just get put away. And I do need a seam guide because I can't sew straight for the life of me.
What kind of material did we use on the ironing board?
The ironing board is actually a sheet with 2 layers of wool underneath, but those layers of wool have, over the years, that's been on there for like 4 years now, that one. I had another one on it for a couple years as well, so it's finally time to replace it, so I'm going to put duck cotton on it this time, this next round, instead of a sheet, because, yeah, over there, the purple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's duck cotton.
Yes. I don't know why they call it duck. It's like an in-between of canvas and regular quilting cotton. It's like the in-between. I don't know. It's for like indoor, outdoor furniture or something. I have no idea. Anyway. All right. I'm going to attach to the back because that's what I prefer to do. And then bring it around to the front. And just like any binding, at first I'm kind of going to make sure that no seams are landing in the corners. And so far they're not, so whatever. I'm just going to go for it. Make sure that the opening is facing away from the center of the quilt. You want to leave like a 10-inch tail. And then I am going to change my stitch length to a 2.5 because it really doesn't need to be that tight. And then when we get to this corner now, this is a 60 degree instead of a 90 degree, okay? So I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch and to the point, and then I'm going to turn it and stitch off the edge. So I literally came 1/4 inch from this corner, and instead of going straight to the side to line it up, you're actually going to go up instead. So here's my line. I'm going to match this now straight with that. So you barely get a little fold here, come onto itself, meeting the end of this fold with the end of the quilt top, just like this. And then I'm going to start my stitching again, and I'm going to do that with every single corner. So I'm going to come to about 1/4 inch away. One more stitch, pivot, stitch off, bring it up instead, and then down to where this bottom of the fold right here is at the edge of the quilt. Then stitch on. 60s are the same as 90s or 45s, whatever. It's pretty much the same thing. You're still lining it up, but you are just having a smaller fold over. So I just kind of like do this, and it's really easy. Line it up, so on down. All right, line it up, pivot, come right before, 1/4 inch before the edge, line it, flip it. You can see it goes pretty quick. Okay, one more. And then I'm going to stop in a second, about right here. I'm going to take this, come up, I'm going to cut off a little bit of it, just like that, nice and straight. So I still have a long tail. I'm going to take this side, my little extra piece, lay it on here. I'm just doing the sit at the table way instead of being all fancy about it. I'm going to line this up right on top of that, smooth everything out, and then I'm going to cut on this side towards me from the thing, aligning it up with that little piece that I just put on there. So that's 2.5 inches. Throw that aside. We're going to take these and put them right sides together. Fold the quilt, you can fold it and hold it. Right sides together with this one. And remember, we're doing it on the diagonal. So we're just gonna change my stitch length back down to a 2, because that would be smart. And stitch from corner to corner. Make sure before cutting it that it's the size it needs to be and it's laying flat. You can see. And then cut away. I have lots and lots of videos just binding alone, so If you're struggling, just look up one of my binding videos. And
Yeah, we have a ton of
I have a ton of binding videos. A whole heck of a lot. Lots of Sew Sundays. Binding. Binding this week. Binding this week, yeah. All right. Smooth it out. Put my seam guide back where it goes. And stitch. The rest of that down. Crossing over about, I don't know, an inch. And then we're just going to flip it over, and this is the fastest part. I'm going to change my machine now to a 3mm stitch length. I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the binding. I hold it nice and tight. My fingers do the job nicely. I'm going to fold this end up first to get my little corner here, my mitered corner, and then fold this one onto it. They meet right up, like the 60-degree meets better than a 45 or a 90-degree angle. I always take a front stitch and a back stitch at all my corners. So again, I'm just going to fold this under, stitch down it. It's so easy. If you want, you can put the camera, you can just unplug it and bring it over here real quick so they can see how this fold works. All right, Scott's going to bring you over here so you can see how these corners for your mitered corner works. So what I'm doing, folding it over just like any other binding, right? Come down it, get close, and then we're going to take this bottom, go up with it, and you're just making a slight little whatever. You're not actually pushing it out, and you're just going to fold it onto it. See how much easier that is to get to a nice point right here? So I come to it, I take one stitch in, out, you know, beyond it where they meet up. I'm going to stitch all the way down this side.
How long does it take you to pick out your fabrics for your projects?
Oh, it doesn't take long for me to pick anything out. Unless I'm trying to find a border fabric that's matching something, then that takes hours. I don't really like, I don't know, because I make a lot of scrap projects, so I don't really take my time trying to pick fabrics. I just grab scraps and go kind of thing usually. This project was already picked out for me. So the colors, they were literally right next to each other in a box. All right, here we go. Here's another one. So I'm going to fold the bottom part up first. Watch. You just slide your finger across it and then don't even make it flat. Just push it over and they meet exactly right up. So I just stitch down right to that corner and I let it slip. One more stitch. Come on, right there. Pivot, go down the next side. Right before it, flip it up. Make sure that there's all those little loose threads are pulled away. I'll have to snip those. I'm not even pushing it out. I'm just letting it fall onto it. And it comes out so nice in those undertails. Sorry, guys. Let me fix this. Scott says it's zooming in and out. I don't know why it's doing it.
Every time your hand moves.
All right. Fold it up. Just let me snip those tails because those keep sticking out. Up. Just let it fall over and they match right up. These are the easiest for these 60s. I take one stitch away from it, into it, and back out. Yeah, that's why I said it was time for a new camera. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's not supposed to. There, and then pivot, and now I'm on my last side. Go, finishing it up. I'm going to match right up with that starting stitch, cross over about an inch, back stitch, lift my thread and pull it away. And there is my finished. And I'll show it while it's up close so you guys can see. Now, focus. There's a point. There's a point. You can see they just match right up so nicely. Those ends. And on the back side, they just, fold over. But they look so clean. There's that one that had the thread hanging out the back. Oh, the hot air balloons are out. Ah, man, and I really wanted to go out and do that this morning. What time is it?
8:37.
Oh, yeah, they'll still be out. All right, let's put you guys back over here.
Hear them over the house. You're done.
Oh, we could take you guys outside to the hot air balloons, I guess, to finish up this morning. Here it is. My finished, easiest table runner ever. Doesn't that look so cool? My quilting is horrible, okay, but that's all right because I'm not used to free motion quilting. So this was just a, demonstration, even though it's sloppy as sloppy gets. All right. Do you guys want to go out and see the hot air balloons?
I think they do.
All right, we're going to go out and see those hot air balloons. I'm just going to take you out of this stand. All right, we're going to walk through the house now. Walking through the house, you get to stare at the floor. You can see there's a little tiny quilt on the frame. Hopefully I don't freeze my little butt off. Oh, there's lots of them. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are. Well, the Bloom Fest is this weekend.
Yeah, the Balloon Fest
Today's
is going
Thursday.
off. All right, here we go, guys.
We're in town.
Oh, there's one over the house. I'm going to move around a lot because there's like 50 of them out here. There's one right here. And there's 1, 2, 3 right there that I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then there's 2 way back beyond that palm tree. That's 8, 9. Out there. Are there any out front? Yeah, I saw him.
He's the only one you can really see out front. Well, out front is in the sun. I know
He's really lifting off quick.
Can you see these 3 coming up together? Can
Yeah.
you see those on the camera?
There's 3 over there. See the heads of them beyond the houses. Sorry, guys, because I'm a shaker. I have shakes.
Tell them no, this isn't every morning. It's only 'cause
the Balloon Fest is in town. I have to hold the camera with 2 hands though, because I have really bad shakes. So there's a doggy way off in the distance. All you hear is the sounds of them. And there's more lifting off. You could see the heads of them popping out all over the place. I'm freezing at the same time, guys. Sorry. I'm out here in short sleeves.
Yeah. Do you want to put my jacket on so you're not shivering?
Yeah, please. That guy's really moving. They just fill the skies here. And they're all moving quickly this way because there's like a 4 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour wind, according to online when I looked at the weather today to see if they were going to fly this morning or not. Sorry guys, I'm putting Scott's sweater on because I'm shivering, which is making the shakes worse.
You want the hood up or no?
No, I don't need the hood up.
Well, for me, it's my head.
So remember, I live in Lake Havasu, Arizona. So the hot air balloons are here once a year. It's usually in January, the Balloon Fest. Oh yeah, repairing hot air balloon baskets? That's pretty cool. That guy's really like trucking. There must be a good wind right there. Normally I'd be on the roof, guys.
Be careful, you're right at the step there.
Yep.
Go back any further. Well, you don't trip and fall.
So you guys got a double whammy this morning. An awesome project and some hot air balloons in my lovely wire-filled backyard.
Yeah, we get to see all the cables.
Yeah, this is what I see.
It's not an underground town.
This is what I see all the time is these stupid cables. When I come out here during the day, you can see the lake. I don't know how well you guys could see it on camera, but it's right there.
Be careful. That's I told you, the steps right there. Don't fall.
Oh, the puppy dog way off in the
What
distance.
temperature is it out here? I don't even know.
I don't know what. Look in the garage, I should say.
Well, that's going to be the garage.
See, there's a puppy dog. He's got a fire truck hat on. If it's 50 in the garage, that means it's like 52 out here, but I'm freezing because it's under 70. Right, there he is, right there.
The sun is probably 65. In the shade, it's pretty cold though. Where do they land?
They land wherever they land. Usually they have a follower, a person in a truck or something that follows their track or path, and then they will get picked up. I wonder if can they hear the sound? Can you guys hear the sound of the whooshing that they make? Because it's really loud. My favorite one is the Dark Side of the Moon, which I don't even see him. He probably landed a while back because he was way back. Oh, there he is. Gary, there he is, right there.
Yeah,
that's the one.
For one of our anniversaries.
Me and Scott went in. Let's see if I can steady it right there. That one. It's the Dark Side of the Moon album cover. We went in that one and took a long trip in it. Not a long trip, but oh. Let me unplug the microphone and you guys could probably hear the whooshing then. Can you guys hear the whooshing now?
Tell them it's when they pull the fire to make.
When they pull the fire, that's the sound that it makes. That guy just yelled down at somebody that was waving him and he said, "Have a nice day."
I heard. If you heard it, I heard it.
Some of these are like, they remind me of quilts. See? Isn't that so awesome?
What's on that white one over there?
I think the white one has Chinese writing on it.
Oh, it's a symbol, huh?
A symbol, yeah.
Chinese symbol or something?
Kanji symbol, I guess, would be the word for it. This one right here, this one... Where's my finger? I don't even see my finger. That one, he flies over us a lot too. He's out all the time. I think he lives locally. I don't know how to stop me from shaking, guys. I'm so sorry. It makes it so horrible. But when I start shivering, I can't stop. It's an MS thing. I get the shivers really easily, and then my nerves take over and I shiver. Yep, they're all floating towards the front though. Although that guy went up and he's moving that way now. So the higher you go, the opposite direction you go. So there's tons way back there if you guys see all the dots in the sky. Very slowly, like, oh. I tell people all the time that I can't go in anything under 70 degrees because it drives me nuts. All right. Well,
Blinding them if you did go out there. The only one you can see is right at this side.
Why is it not turning? Sorry, you guys are staring at my rock yard for a second. There we go. Okay. Hi. So, see all the balloons. We'll leave you guys with some balloons in the background. I'm going to get going though because I am shivering my little batootie off and I'm not liking it.
Tell them bye.
So I'm going to watch the balloons from inside the house through my patio window. And I will see you guys all in the next breakfast at Tiffany's and or so Sunday or whenever I'm on. So bye everybody. Thank you for hanging out and enjoying the balloons with me. Bye. Oh my goodness, come on. It's not working. There we go.